This is a clip from a video on losing trick count that you'll see when you get to the intermediate level, which we call green belt, the 20 series in this directory. But it fits really well here. So I took it out of context and played it here. By the way, this was the introduction to a video on losing trick count. Again, you'll see it when we get to the 20 series. But for now, learn everything that you can see in here. By the way, if you see him open a 4-card major or a 12 to 14 no trump, he's British, probably playing the Akal system, which uses 4-card majors and weak no trumps. Don't worry about it.
And we're going to use the traditional point system that you're sure to have learned when you first learned bridge. Here's the hand. Okay, you all know that for a jack, you get 1 point. Okay? For an ace, that's 4 points, so that's 5 so far. 9, 10, 11, 12. So this has got a 12 points for the high cards that you've got. So does that mean this is a 12-point hand? No. This has got 12 high card points. So when you first learn bridge, you use just the high cards and you give each of those high cards, the ace, the king, the queen, and the jack, a point value, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and just add that up. But if you continue to rely just on the high card point system, you're dead in the water straight away. You have to look at the hand in a different way. And we're going to start off with doing the high card points, but then we might add or possibly even subtract points to get the whole evaluated point card system for this particular hand. Now, we've looked at the high cards, but what else is good about this particular hand? Well, one thing is great is all of those clubs. If I was going to bid a suit, I'd need to have 4 of them. But this has got 6. That's 2 extra. So one of the things that we do to enhance the evaluation of a hand is to award a point for each extra card you've got in a suit above 4, up to a maximum of 2. So I evaluate this hand here as being 12 high card points, but I'm going to give myself 2 extra for those 2 extra clubs. I evaluate this as a 14-point hand, and that's not high card points. It's surprising how many good bridge players forget about this business of adding or possibly subtracting from the high card points. They just stuck with that original system that they learned when they were beginners. Now you might point out that, John, there are some other good points about this hand. You've got that singleton 8 of diamonds. Isn't that good? Well, yes, it will be great if, as long as diamonds aren't trumps, for example, or as long as you're not going to be playing in no trumps. In either of those cases, then having a singleton 8 is horrible. The doubleton, the jack and the 7, that could be useful, but again, it won't be useful in no trumps, and it certainly won't be useful if trumps are spades. So let's not do anything about that yet. Right, so we've got an opening hand here. It's 12 to 14 points in that particular range. It's a 14-point hand. So if I was opening, then I'd want to start with 1 club, and then my second bid could either be 1 heart, if I could sneak that in, or if my partner responded, say, 1 spade, then I couldn't go 2 hearts because that would indicate I've got a much better hand. I'll have broken through the magic barrier. When you open one club, imagine a barrier of 2 clubs. If you break through that and go above it, it's indicating a really good hand of 15 points or more. So, but I could repeat my clubs and I could go 2 clubs. But it's not me to bid. It's actually my partner dealt, and my partner is going to bid or pass. Let's have a look at the bidding. Oh my goodness. My partner West has opened 1 heart and North has passed. Now what am I going to bid? Well, all of a sudden, I'm going to re-evaluate my hand. Yes, the value of your hand can change. You've still got the same cards, but now you've got some more information. The critical information here is your partner's got an opening hand and she's got at least 4 hearts. We've got 4 hearts. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's the magic number. If you want to go in a suit contract, you want to go in a suit where you've got 8 or more. When you've got 8 or more of a suit, they say you've got a fit in that suit. And we've got a fit in hearts. One of the major suits, you get lots of points for that, more than diamonds and clubs. This is good news. So what you must do now is to re-evaluate your hand so that in the point system, your hand can change its value as the bidding progresses and more information comes in. Now, in this case, once you know you've got a fit in a particular suit, then you can re-look at that 8 of diamonds. That's now a singleton that would be, if hearts were trumps, and it's certainly looking like that, then that would be really valuable. In fact, I would award 3 extra points for a singleton. And the same is true of that doubleton. It's not as good as the singleton, but it's worth something extra. And I would award 1 extra point for that doubleton. So all of a sudden, my new evaluation is this. Still got 12 high card points, and I've still got those long clubs. That's great. But now, and only now, I'm going to give myself an extra 3 for the singleton, an extra 1 for the doubleton. My gosh, this is an 18-point hand. It has only got 12 high card points, but it's much stronger than 12 points would indicate. I reckon this is an 18-point hand. Now your partner has opened, so she's got 12 points or more. 12 plus 18 is 30 points. You are now well above bidding a game, and you're in the possible slam region. Now that's going to change your bidding. You can't use fancy conventions or even your basic conventions unless you evaluate your hand properly. And in this case, all of a sudden, now my bidding, whatever I'm going to bid, is based on a hand of 18 points. Now, if it was my choice, I would bid a simple 2 clubs. You might think, oh my goodness, I have to tell my partner how good my hand is. No, you don't. What you want to do is to find out from your partner how good their hand is. And they're dying to tell you. When your partner opened 1 heart, she had in mind another bid which will describe her hand fully. So let's keep the bidding as low as possible to let her make that second bid. And then you can make a decision. As long as you bid a new suit, that's important, then your partner is obliged to make that second bid that they're prepared for anyway. If you're thinking, well, I'd like to go into hearts, or, I've decided in my head that we're going to be bidding a game in hearts. Well, if you go 2 hearts, that's a limited bid. It's actually saying you've got a fairly weak hand and that cuts the bidding. Your partner can pass. And the same is true if you go 3 hearts or even 4 hearts. You don't want to rule those out. So just go for bidding a different suit, and then the bidding will progress. Let's have a look at another hand. Okay. Again, let's do the high card points first. 2 aces, that's 8 points. And king, that is 11 high card points. But we've got 5 diamonds. Well, that's 1 extra for the length. So my initial evaluation is 11 high card points and 1 for an extra diamond. This is a 12-point hand. But what about the bidding? Here we go. Right, my partner opened 1 heart. Good. That's interesting. My partner's got 4 or more hearts. Well, I've got 3, but 4 plus 3 is only 7. So let's not get too excited yet. But it's still, I've got more than 10 points, so I can bid at the 2 level. And my natural bid is 2 diamonds. The opponents pass, and now my partner comes in with this magic second bid of 2 hearts. She now has described her hand pretty well fully. She has got 5 hearts because she's repeated the hearts. 5 hearts or more. Also, it's a limited bid, so she's got 12 to 14 points. But wait a minute, if she's got 5 hearts and I've got 3 to the ace, that's the magic 8. That's great information because now I can re-evaluate my hand. And all of a sudden, that singleton 10 of spades suddenly is becoming very, very nice. So now for my next bid, I'm bidding with a new hand, with new points, because the new evaluation, I'm adding an extra 3 for the singleton. So I've got a 15-point hand. Now, whatever you're going to bid next, it'll be based on 15 points from you and at least 12 from your partner. Gosh, well, that's at least 27 points. I'd be thinking that 4 hearts would be a pretty good bid, but that's not the point here. What we're doing here is evaluating a hand in a more correct way. Now, the point of this video is to talk about the losing trick system, and that's a different way of evaluating your hand. Well, if you can do it using the point system, why do you want a different way? That's only going to confuse you. Well, it's this. Lots of people, once they evaluate their hand using the point system, that's it. It's fixed in their head, and they often forget to re-evaluate and come out with a new point value. Whereas if you use the losing trick system, which I'll explain shortly, then that sort of motivates you to look at the hand again in a different way. And it does this business of making you re-evaluate your hand. But let's just go for the point system again. One last example here. Okay, this has got, right, well, we've got 4, 7, 11 high card points, nothing for length. Okay, well, this is an 11-point hand, is it? No, it's not. When you've got a 4-3-3-3 shape, that's a horrible hand. That's a horrible shape. And I would recommend that you always subtract 1 for such a hand. So, although this has got 11 high card points, I would class this as a 10-point hand. Okay, well, that's my first evaluation. Now let's look at the bidding. Oh, my partner's opened again. 1 heart, pass. Now what am I going to bid? I've got 10 points. So, how am I going to describe this hand? Well, could I bid a different suit? I want to, because that will enable my partner to display her hand in a great way with that magic second bid. And I have got a suit. I've got a 4-card suit. I know you're looking at that saying 4 spades to the 9. I don't want to be in a contract with that. Well, you would if your partner's got lots of spades. The important thing is you're just going to keep the bidding going. So there's nothing wrong with bidding 1 spade. It's a new suit, so your partner has to bid the second bid, and she has done. It's 2 hearts. Fine. That describes her hand fully. It means she's got 5 hearts. Good. And she's got 12 to 14 points. Right. Well, that's good. If she's got 5 hearts and you've got 3 hearts to the ace, you've got a fit in hearts. So what about reevaluating the hand? It's still the same because we haven't got any singletons or doubletons or even a void. That would be exciting to get a void. No, this is still a 10-point hand and your partner's got 12 to 14 points. Not enough for game. Well, it's up to you what system you use as to what your next bid is, but it'll be based on a hand of 10 points, not 11 high card points. Okay, let's just recap. What can you add or subtract to reevaluate your